Can you feel the tension? I can. I can feel it down in my plums.
Catchphrase, I'm easily top 2, and I ain't number 2, yeah?
Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. What the hell's going on, man? I can hear something. Is my computer on? Let's check this. Okay. Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Appreciate you all for tuning in, fellas. If you haven't already, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. This is the best MLB prop show on God's green earth, The Balking Dead. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Today we eat with Ribeyes with Mike, as well as the pitchers I'm going to talk about. So enough small talk, fellas. You already know the drill. Grab them notebooks, fuck them bookies, and let's get to the monies. First guy on the board, guys, is Tanner Bibee versus the Yankees. They opened them up 5.5 minus 128 on FanDuel. It's pretty much still the same. Pitching outs 15.5 minus 130 to the over. Earned runs 2.5 minus 140 to the under. Projected lineup is 6 lefties and 3 righties. Bibee gets the Yankees, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are walking at a high clip, striking out 24% of the time with a middle-of-the-pack ISO. And we are getting a juiced-up 5.5 after Bibee's first 4 starts of not getting more than 5 in any game. Now, if we look at who he's played, the Royals 2 times, the Angels, and the Orioles, we see a common occurrence. And that's 2 of the teams are in the top 10 of zone contact, where the Angels' overall numbers say they're bad, but the lineup was not. And if it was this year's numbers in that Angels lineup, it was 5-4 saying to the over, yet 2024's numbers in that lineup said 5-4 to the under. So lineups had me off that game. Hence why we need lineups when betting K props. Now, when we look at Bibee's metrics, we see a guy who has been in the zone 3% more than league average through his career. So zone contact is going to be key, guys, when you're pounding the zone. Yet his metrics also show that he is league average or worse, depending on the year, in chase contact. And with Bibee, his first few starts, velo being down and spin were down, compared to last year, that's how he started last year as well, guys. He came into the year seeming like he uses the first month to get going and then starts to roll. Well, his fastball's velo is back to where it should be, but his RPMs are still down 200 compared to where it was. And then we look at his cutter, where his RPMs are down 100. So if I do get involved with Bibee today, it has to be a half unit, as I don't want to be too involved or invested in a guy whose spin is down. Now, Bibee last year took a few weeks, like I said, to get going. And then when he turned on the freaking light switch, when he turned it off, it stayed off. So when we go look at this, guys, we're going to run this projected lineup for zone contact and use the chase contact as a bonus. And we come up with 6 of the 9 worse than league average at zone contact this year, with 7 of the 9 if we look at last year. So the zone contact says fire. If we look at this year's metrics, then we got to, sorry guys, got caught up freaking being stoned and juiced out of my mind. So then we talked about the chase contact being the bonus. And when we go through the bonus, guys, the bonus also points to the over as well. So then I run through his pitch mix, which, guys, he's fastball cutter, and then he uses a changeup to a lefty and a sweeper to a righty. And we have 4 guys in this lineup who's whiffed to his breaking pitches, but that do not whiff to his breaking pitches. Yesterday, Gavin Williams had to find out the hard way. He still got there, but once he realized he just got to throw fastballs versus this team, they're going to swing and miss, he started to get them. One thing Gavin Williams had was a curveball. The Yankees struggle versus mightily against. When we go through the right-handed batters in a sweeper, guys, we have lots of guys who do not miss that pitch. When we go through the left-handed guys who struggle versus a changeup, there's quite a few guys who don't struggle versus a changeup. So it comes down, dude, to does this man use his fastball and cutter to put people away today, or is he going to try to use his changeup to lefties and his sweeper to righties like he normally does? Because if he does that, he's not going to get a lot of whiff, and I don't know if the strikeouts are there. I do got him for 7.5 on the whiff, guys, as he can get Rice, Juz, and Chisholm 2 times, Wells being 1. Can he not fall into another one? Yet it's over or nothing, and I'm going to need lineups. Yesterday, Rice wasn't in it, and Jazz is also supposed to be suspended a game soon. So lineups are key, as I got Rice and Chisholm going down 1.5. And if you're going to take them out my lineup, then you know what? There goes my wiggle room. So lineups are key. If I do bet Bobby today, it will be a half unit strictly on the spin has been down, as well as I don't know if he's going to go fastball cutter versus these guys, because when we go through the pitch mix, he's down here. Goldie, he don't miss he does not miss a sweeper. Who else don't miss a sweeper? Volpe don't miss a sweeper. Oh, and there's only 3 righties. So now we got to go through changeups. Who doesn't whiff to a changeup? Cody fucking Bellinger, Dominguez, Cabrera. So yes, there are guys in here who can definitely carry this over. It's over or nothing. And for me, I'm just going to leave it be until the lineups come out. Next guy on the board where this shit flipped overnight. Jack Flaherty versus the Padres opened up 4.5, minus 126 on FanDuel. Morning was 5.5 plus 105 on DK. It is now minus 112. Pitching out 17.5, minus 130 to the under, where the earned runs are 1.5, minus 175 to the over. Projected lineup is 6 righties, 3 lefties. Flaherty gets the Padres, who over the last 15 days versus righties are walking league average, bottom of the league in strikeout percentage at just 18%, while having a top 10 isolated power. And we have an overnight move to the over. Well, I get it, guys. There's no Arias in this lineup as he is on the concussion IL. So does it warrant a whole strikeout move? We shall have to see. As the past history in this projected lineup is a career 26.5%, but yet it is a little skewed, as Tatis and Iglesias have struck out a combined 2 of their 20 at-bats, yet it's the other guys who have came in. Right now, not in the projected lineup are really good contact guys, Yuri Gurriel, Jason Hayward, Cronenworth. So as always, I'm going to need the lineup before I fire. I'd rather be late to a party and pay some juice as long as I'm cashing, guys. At the end of the day, cashing cares more about me than I care about what line did I get it at. I talked about Flaherty yesterday on my channel, guys, as this is a different team without the best contact hitter since Ichiro out the lineup. Now, Lodolo looked all good until the lineups came out yesterday, and that's what I mean, guys, by lineups are key when we're betting K-props. Now, with Jack, it's simple, guys. I love him on extra rest, which he's on today, and I use Chase as his key, as he has some of the upper echelon chase contact in baseball. So when I run this projected lineup, be it this year or last, we have 6 guys who are worse than league average at chasing, with the same 3 being elite, be it this year or last year. Granted, we do have 2 kids with low at-bats, but we have to take that in. So I'm going to take that in, guys, with the guys who are elite at chase contact. As yes, Iglesias will chase, but yet his chase contact is top 10 in the league. And like I said earlier, he's only struck out 1 of his 7 at-bats to Flaherty. So let's run this pitch mix versus the chase and pay attention to the elite chase contact guys and this lineup that are full of 2 kids. But man, and you go look at those 2 kids' freaking minor league metrics, and they're only striking out less than 10% of their at-bats in the minors. So they seem to be following the Padres' plan of being good contact hitters. So I run the math, guys, and I come up with, you won't believe it. You ready? You ready? I come up with straight 6. You're like, Sharpie, it's a 5.5. Well, there's not enough wiggle room. What I'm saying is, if you grab the 4.5, I think you're on the right side. If you're on the 5.5, this could be a sweat. Now, it's going to come down to me. Can he get Tatis or not? It says in 13 at bats he hasn't. Tatis doesn't chase, be it this year or last, but he whiffs at everything he throws. So can Jack Flaherty just fucking stay in the zone? That's asking him to do something that he hasn't been able to do too many damn times, guys. So right now, I believe the number's right where it's at. If you got in yesterday, I think you're sitting on the right side of a ticket, but I'm going to let Jack Flaherty be at this moment, as I don't think this is the lineup we get. And like I said, Gurriel, Hayward, and or freaking Cronenworth are all really good contact type guys. So guys, you've got to definitely pay attention to that the Padres can platoon out there. They can also send Martin Maldonado. So they do got some bums. They do got some people on the IL right now, Jackson Merrill and Arias, which does make this team a different team. Next guy on the board is Edward Cabrera, and he gets the Reds. They opened them up 6+ plus 105 on DraftKings. Morning line was 6+ at even money. Pitching outs 15.5 minus 185 to the under, whereas earn runs 1.5 minus 175 to the over. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Cabrera gets the Marlins, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are walking at a high clip, striking out 24% of the time with a middle-of-the-pack ISO. And Cabrera is now making his 3rd start of the year after putting up 5 strikeouts versus the Nats and 6 versus the Diamondbacks. Now, this projected lineup is projecting 5 lefties, and through his career, he is striking out lefties at just 24% compared to 28% from the right-handed side. And if we look at his metrics, we see a guy who is now throwing his curveball, slider, and changeup more than his fastball. You know who else threw his slider more than his fastball? Max Myers, the guy who pitched last night. And I can't really go too much farther more on this guy's breakdown today, guys, as one big role I fucking have betting K props. If a guy has a career day the day before and he pitches from the same side, I mean, righty, lefty, I'm okay with betting it again. Righty, you will never see me follow it back up with betting the next guy the next day. These are major league hitters. They're going to make an adjustment, not saying they won't strike out, but they're going to try to not get to 2 strikes, swing early, get the ball in play. I've seen it happen too many times. Edward Cabrera is a complete, don't even fucking break him down for me today, guys. As you have a career day, I'm not looking to bet the next guy following you. Now, who I am looking to bet, and it's a guy I should have got in live last time, but I just let it play out. Bryce Miller at the Red Sox. Morning line 6+ minus 115. It's now minus 120. Pitching out 16.5 minus 125 to the under. Earn runs 2.5 minus 130 to the over. Projected lineups is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Now, like I said, this may have got pushed back to tomorrow, but I have seen nothing of Miller guys being scratched or pushed back, so I do expect Miller to go today. But if he doesn't, guys, the breakdown's still here for tomorrow. Some of the books weren't showing Miller as the starting pitcher, but yet it seems to all have come around to at least put him there. But now Miller gets the Red Sox, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching, they're walking a tad bit low than league average, striking out 24% of the time while having a middle-of-the-pack ISO. Now, if you don't hear me say who have they seen, it's because I already fucking been running my guys up versus them. A la the Yankees, where I've ran Rasmussen, Bradley, and Williams over the last week, going 2-1 to the over. What I'm getting at, guys, is I ain't run a K prop versus the Boston Red Sox all fucking year, and they're striking out 24% of the time. I'm going to tell you their numbers are a tad bit fraudulent. Now, going into the last 2 weeks, guys, to see who have they faced that I would bet on, they've only faced one guy. Shane Baz, 6 innings with 11 punch-outs. Now, going into the last game with Miller, guys, his velo was down, and he was walking people at a clip that he hasn't been doing in his short career. Well, his velo is back as I watched the last game, guys, And I knew I should have gotten live when I seen that high 90s fastball and that devastating 84-mile-per-hour splitter. Now, when we look at Miller's metrics, we see a guy who lives in the zone and is league average at zone contact. He's pretty much league average at zone contact, chase, and chase contact. But for a guy who pounds the zone and with league average zone contact, we're going to have to look at zone contact as the key and chase contact being the bonus. As Miller's first 4 games by his metrics has been games versus the Rangers, Giants, A's, and Reds, all who are league average or better at zone contact. So can we get us a favorable matchup to back Miller, even though he is on the road? And I do say that, guys, because his home road splits are drastic. They're real. He is striking people out on the road just 20% in his career through 26% at home. He is also a guy who in his career, guys, has struck out right-handed batters at a 4% higher clip than the left-handed side, whereas left-handed strikeout rate percentage is just 21.5. Now, there is not a lot of past history in this lineup other than Alex Bregman. And yeah, Miller ain't struck him out in 17 at-bats. Doubt he gets him today. So I run this lineup for zone contact, and on last year's numbers, we have 4 of the 7 that are gradable, worse than league average. And by this year's metrics, we have 6 of the 9 that are gradable, worse than league average at zone contact. So both keys, both years pointing in the way that we want it to be, as well as getting the 6-3 that we have of the gradable ones this year. Zone contact says we get in. Let's check for chase contact. And on last year's metrics, we have 5 of the 7 gradable, worse than league average. And if we're going to go by this year's, we have 6 of the 9 worse than league average at chase contact. So all in all, guys, it's pointing over. And when I run this pitch mix versus zone contact and chase contact, I come up with 7 on a bad day, with the only 0 spot in this lineup being Alex Bregman, a guy who, by the metrics, elite at zone contact through his whole career and elite at chase contact his whole career. And he hasn't struck out in 17 at-bats versus him. Who would have thought? Well, good news, guys, is he's the only projected person in this lineup who grades out like this. So you give me this lineup, and I'm going to have to say hello to my little friend, as the wiggle room is there. Yet, because Miller is on the road, it will be a half-unit bet for me. I will not get fully invested on a guy who does show career splits being 6% worse on the road. Or should I go full? This is where I'm going to have to go back and listen to myself. Dude, you may call me crazy, dude. Like, I believe in writing stuff down, saying it out loud, and then listening in it. So I will go back and listen to myself, break it down, and you will be surprised at some of the stuff that I miss. More and more I keep thinking they ain't seen anybody but Boz. I've got 7 in the math. Both keys are pointing. If he burns me because he's on the road, then he burns me because he's on the road. I'm going to have to just buckle up and bet this man today and just get out there and put my nuts on the table. Speaking of nuts on the table, let's talk about another guy that I want to back. I just don't think it's going to be today. And let's talk about it. Dustin May at the Cubs opened up 5+ at plus 115 on DK. It's pretty much the same. Pitching outs are not available for him or for the next guy we're going to talk about, Shota Amagna. So that tells me, guys, we have to weather check the radar. I haven't gotten to the radar yet, as I do type out most everything that I say here. So shit takes time. So let's get to Dustin May at the Cubs. Projected 5 righties, 4 lefties. May gets the Cubs, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are not walking, striking out just 21% of the time with a top 7 ISO. And it's been simple this year with betting May when it comes to his props, as he pounds the zone with league average zone contact. So zone contact is what we have to look at. In the 2 games where they had bad zone contact was the 2 games where he had 6 or more strikeouts this year. Meaning, guys, he pretty much can't. And if you look at his metrics, he is terrible at getting people to chase. Like 3% worse than league average. Like Chase has just ain't been there for the guy. Chase really doesn't mean much to him, as the Washington Nationals chase like a motherfucker. Their chase contact is good. Hence, this motherfucker went out there and just had 1 strikeout that day. So zone contact is key. And then we got to look at the bonus in this is the chase contact. And we go through this projected lineup, guys, and if we're just going to go off of zone contact, which is the major key, whether it's this year or last, 5 of the 9 projected are league average or better at zone contact, and that's enough for me just to let it be, guys. I know that may sound dumb and crazy. If you can't get past the keys, I'm not going to break down your strikeout mix, guys. I'm not going to take another 30, 40 minutes of my time. For what? I'm not going to bet it. I've freaking got my ways. I've set myself. And so far, there's a few that are screaming like, okay, bro, you have to listen when they're talking to you. If they're not talking to you, the key's not there, you fucking let it go. Now, this is one that I'm going to have to freaking, this is the last guy before we get into the hitters. And this is a conundrum fuck for me right here. Maybe it's because it's my Dodgers. Maybe it's not. Let's just talk it out. Shota Magna versus the Dodgers opened up 4.5 minus 125 on DK. It's now minus 150 everywhere. Pitching outs are not available. Once again, we need to check the weather and make sure there's no rain. If they're not offering outs on either pitcher, that's a red flag until they do. Earned runs 2.5 minus 130 to the over. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Last guy on the board is Shota, who gets my Dodgers, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties. They're not walking at just 6.5% of the time, striking out 25% of the time, but yet they have a top 7 isolated power. As Shota started the Tokyo series, he's now had 5 games already, with not having more than 4 strikeouts in all but 1 game, a back-to-back scenario with the Padres. First game he had 4, then 10 days later he had 7. Well, that falls under the rule of my back-to-backs, and I'll preach it all the time. If he goes over the first time, you look under, and vice versa the other way. Not saying you got to play it, but that's the way you got to go into it. And what did he do? He adjusted because he's a dog and got 7 versus the Padres 10 days later. It's just how it is, and it's worked for me just to let those type of things be. Now, when we look at Shota, guys, we have a guy who lives in the zone as his whole career 3% better than league average, but yet if we just go off of his 5 games this year, he's 7% better than league average. So the dude pounds the zone. He also has some of the best chase in the game, as it's 6% better than league average, and his chase contact is just fucking nasty. So zone contact is key. Chase contact is the bonus. As we bet and go into this year, guys, and be it this year or last year, we have 5 of the 9 who are league average or worse at zone contact. And then we have a flip, guys, to the over or under if we're going to go look at chase contact, be it this year, last year, with it being 5-4 going over one year, 5-4 being under the other. Now, there's only one guy who shows he is elite in both categories this year, and that is Mookie fucking Betts, who, granted, has not struck out in 5 at-bats, not a lot to put on it, but Ohtani has only struck out once in 7 at-bats, where it shows Ohtani should be going down a lot more than that. Well, Shota, guys, he's home today. What does that mean? Well, through his career, guys, he has a 6% higher strike or 7% higher at home than on the road. He talked about it last year, and I've always called it the DeGrom effect. It's when the home fans give you that electricity where you look to strike the guy out. On 2 strikes, Cubs Stadium stands up and they cheer for death. And Shota tries to give it to him. I love Shota when he doesn't get the call on a 3rd strike that he thinks he should get. He fucking gives the umpire a look like, you're crazy as shit. Give me my strikeout. So you got a guy who's actually looking for strikeouts today versus a team that's not doing so hot in the zone contact. So when I go through his pitch mix, he's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. I don't know if I want to back a 2-pitch pitcher versus my Dodgers. I know that's not a good thing, but yet he does switch his arm angles. So is he a 2-pitch pitcher if you're switching your arm angles? Fastball sweeper to lefties and fastball splitter to righties. He will sprinkle in some others, but nothing more than 3%. So I ain't paying no mind to that. I end up coming with 6.5, guys. And that's wiggle room and a half. But it's minus 150, and it's sitting in my sweet spot right now, and I'm being a pussy. I'm just being a Pinocha right now. I know the Dodgers have been tough on guys striking them out And when I look at this lineup, I do see 3 dead spots. I see Edman as a dead spot, and I see Betts as a dead spot. Well, there's 2 dead spots. Nope, there's a third. Edman, Freeman, and Betts. So could this be a live opportunity? I think we can miss out on the live opportunity as well if we don't get in, as I've got Ohtani and Teoscar going down 1.5 each. One of them's giving me 2, the other's giving me 1. Shit, both of them can strike out every fucking time they see him. They just have terrible zone contact, terrible chase contact, and they whiff at his fucking pitches. So if Freeman or Betts gets on, he strikes out Ohtani. He could definitely have 2 through 1, and then you're late to the party, guys. So right now it's over or nothing for a guy who's only hit his over 1 out of 4 times. And lineups are going to have to tell me if I get in. And I just got to not be a bitch and just listen to when it talks. And I can be a bitch sometimes, especially when it comes to my team. But listening to when it talks has got me 10-3 in the last 9 to 10 days, guys, and that's what we got to do. I know there's some guys who pay for my picks who were bummed out when I said I wasn't betting on Sunday. Guess what? I'd rather not bet and come back Monday and hit them for 2 more. Like, we will get our money when it says to get it, and Sharpie needs to not be a bitch and bet it if it says to bet it, and right now they are telling me to bet it. Appreciate you all for tuning in to the Balking Dead today. That is the pitching segment of this show. If you haven't already, do me a favor and smash the like button. This is broadcasting on Sports Money as well as the Odds Bunch. Do me a favor, jump over to one if you haven't. Hit the like button for you fella. And I don't care where you stay and watch it. Just make sure you're tuning in and getting my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, you know. Mine just smells like roses. Not, bro, not. But appreciate you all for tuning in. For those who tuned in to hear about women, this ain't your show. For those who wanted to tune in to hear about politics, this really ain't your show. Now, if you're a Discovery guy and you like sharks, this might be your show, as this motherfucker is the last megalodon living.
The size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
Yeah, what's good, my man?
What up? What up? What up? How we doing?
I gotta put you on screen. I guess Sharpie doesn't know what he's doing right now, but that's fine. I'm not a freaking backstage type of guy. You know, I like hanging out with my nuts out. Speaking of, I may not have a job, so we might be streaming a lot more lately, guys. We'll find out when we go to work today.
Oh boy. More to come, it sounds like. Breaking news and more to come.
Bro, I let some lady have it last night, bro. You ain't gonna raise your voice to me. I'm sorry, bro. I match energy with energy, and bro, F-bombs can come out. Whop, whop, whop. And then when I'm winning like I'm winning right now, I'm like, bitch, I've made more of baseball than what you guys pay me over the last month.
Man, I had that realization. I remember going in and we would do these like strat meetings, and I talked to my boy, my mentor, and I'd be like, dude, I'm actually making more money on the weekends than I am coming to work on a regular basis. I said, you're actually costing my opportunity cost, right? The opportunity. I'm losing.
My brother's wife looked at me and said, I thought you were going to quit during baseball season. I was like, actually, like, getting out my house and seeing people like helps with my depression. I know it might sound dumb, guys. Mental illness is real. You don't think Sharpie's mental? I'm fucking nuts, guys. Let me tell you. And being isolated in your own spot is not a good spot for Sharpie. So me getting out and talking to people every day, bro, just doing dumb shit. I have a stupid, easy job, bro. Nothing crazy. Easy as fuck. And I just get to talk to people all day. And don't come at me wrong. I'm still Sharpie. I could tell you God bless and then turn around and stick my dick in your ass.
A zebra never changes its stripes. That's what the bottom line is.
We're trying to, bro. I read a Bible verse yesterday, and I was like, bro, you need to be short to anger, David. And I was praying on it all day. First opportunity, boom. That's not short, very quick. So, you know, patience. We got to take patience with Sharpie. But what we ain't going to take patience with is these props, bro. We're smashing and we don't plan on stopping. So let's get to it, my guy. First guy on the board for you is who?
Won't stop, can't stop. Jose Ramirez. Put him on the board. Let's get him in the game here. You know, it's funny because we have our stable. We have our bench, if you will, of our players here. And you know, I was alternating between a couple of these guys here, and Jose Ramirez got the call. Why? Well, he's kind of having a slow start. It's not the best start to a season. It's not the worst start to a season, but it's not his best. And the reality is he is one of the number one, if not the number one guy when it comes to consistency in baseball across this Cleveland Guardians lineup. But he's getting overshadowed right now. Steven Kwan's out there. Manzardo is out there as well. I mean, Kwan, 333, OBP 396, and 29 hits. Right behind him, Jose Ramirez, 337 OBP. He's got an 863 OPS. So, look, some of these guys are going to kind of start slow, sluggish, and get it going. He's got 76 at-bats, 21 hits. And I say sluggish. He's only got 10 runs, right? So this is a guy that's used to finding pay dirt and getting those hands raised and high-fiving everybody down the line. Why do we pick him today? Because he's got an opportunity. This guy could be the next Patrick Corbin. Willie Warren is going to go out there on the bump. And one thing you can count on this guy is you can't count on this guy here. He's got an 8-0 over trend on the Warren side of things today. When this guy gets on the road, it gets even worse than it does at home. 2 games on the road, 5.2 innings pitched. Break it down. That means he's not getting into the third inning. Why don't you get in this third inning if you're the starting pitcher? Because you're puking your nuts up. And that's what I expect Will Warren to do today. I think Jose Ramirez with Mr. Consistency, priced at plus 140 in the 3-hole. Give me the third baseman. Let's get the pay dirt, baby.
I was talking to Noli this morning, and bro, we were both talking. Jose Ramirez is probably the best hitter in the league. Straight up. Best hitter in baseball. I will argue that with you. A guy who steals 40, hits 40 home runs, and bats 300 every fucking year. The dude hits for fucking power and has a 300 average, bro. Like, get out. Jose Ramirez to the bank. What number did you get him at?
Plus 140, my guy, right in the sweet spot for us. The 3 position plus 140.
Oh, boy, bro. Like, literally, and Warren versus lefties, bro. And they're going to run 8. I think it may be a Cleveland spot if Bibby's fucking does what he should do, but
if he can hang in there, you know, it's funny. The last start that this guy had, I probably was literally the only guy across the Twitter sphere here, Twatterverse, that came in and talked about Tampa Bay's team total over in the first 5. Not Tampa Bay. A lot of people like Tampa Bay in the first 5 in that Yankees-Warren matchup. I said, give me the first 5, team total over 2.5. Sure enough, what happens? 5th inning, the Yankees come out there and smack it. But we cashed by the 3rd inning because we did get our money on Willie Warren. We got that Tampa Bay team total over. That's what we got.
Spin Doc bet his strikeouts under that day because the amount of lefties they ran. And that fucker out won. He didn't make it through the 2nd or 3rd inning.
He was out.
And then that's what made me register. I'm not a Will Warren bettor, but that's what made me register today. And I know Cleveland runs lefty deep. They've always been 8 lefties, bro. Like, they are lefty deep. And if you had problem versus the Tampa Bay lefties, these fucking chase contact, zone contact, hitting Cleveland Guardians, this may be a Cleveland spot, bro. Or it's just straight over spot. Like you said, bro, like my thing with Bibby is his velo finally came back last game, but his spin's still down.
Yep. You know, as you're saying it out loud there, I'm thinking, I heard what you were saying about going back and listening. I hate to go back and listen to myself, but there are some good things that come out of it. And
bro, I brought it up on the show about how me and you talked about it after the show last game about Wheeler in a get back spot.
Yep.
And then I was like, he's in a double get back spot.
Yep.
He ain't giving up this many. Yeah, I had to go through 3 years, bro. But then I went back, re-listened, and I heard, read the numbers. Miami's not hitting. Oh, this is an angry Zach Wheeler, and they're not hitting. Oh, this is bet Wheeler to get the win. But, it's like I should have just took the strikeouts. He got 13, but whatever. I still cashed. It was an easy bet. I didn't stress my 7 and team total under. He went and did what I thought.
I may get back to that team total over in the first 5, 2.5 plus 115 for the Cleveland Guardians. Got to give it a strong look, especially knowing Will Warren's on the bump here. I think I'm just going to go with that trend until it bucks here, and he is in that 8-0 over.
You brought up Corbin real quick before we get to the next guy. I called it last week. I seen Corbin as a favorite, and I said, "Oh, he's winning." I said everybody and their mom fades Patrick Corbin, and this is why I don't fade pitchers, bro. I'm not in the business of fading pitchers. I'm not saying it ain't good, but every time I try to fade somebody, bro, It just don't work out. Look at my 2 unders I bet this year. They've had 10, I think, in both games.
It's because you're not playing from a position of strength. You're rooting on somebody to fail, and that's just bad karma. And the gambling
bad karma, bro. God gets me every time I bet an under so far.
That's the old fuck around and find out strategy out there, and you don't want to be in that position. So let's roll. I saw our guy Stop Geo talking Fernando Tatis. This guy is literally, I mean, my list is a mess here, but he was literally first cut on the list. I like Fernando Tatis quite a bit. My concern and why I didn't get there, Stop Geo, was because with the Arise situation coming out of the lineup, that sucked, dude. That guy got buried, and they had to stretcher his ass out of there. I don't like him being in a pitching ballpark, having to go out there and change the lineup. So I ultimately, that was just my decision on why I didn't get there. Flaherty, inconsistent. I can't ever tell when he's going to throw the dud. I love the over in that Miami game, but I can't get there either. The game I'm going to tune to here for our next batting opportunity, I'm going to go back to this Phillies and Mets spot. My Phillies let us down yesterday. No,
they
money
didn't.
on them, but
They did not let us down. We had Miguel strikeouts.
no, I had no money on them, but I was not happy to see the end result there. And they tried towards the end to figure it out. My boy kind of talked me off him, so I was all good. But I'm not going to get on the Philly side. Listen, how can you not argue Schwarber is one of the best guys in baseball right now? You can't argue it. I'm not going to sit there and hear this argument. But I'll tell you this. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to go not 1 with Lindor, not 2 with Juan Soto. I'm going to go to the number 3 spot with Pete Alonso. And what are you going to say about Pete Alonso? Well, there's 3 things going on. 1, he dominates Sanchez. 2, he's in the right position at the right price. And 3, he's got the most at-bats and confidence and consistency across Alonso. You want to add a 4th? This guy stomps every batting stat on the Mets lineup. He's just a killer out there right now. And I'm not surprised he continues to be. Look, you got to ride the Mets when they're hot, because when they get cold, it's ice cold out there. Sanchez has been giving up the bomb as well. So you got to like a sprinkle on the home run situation. 4 home runs on the season here. Alonso dominates lefties. He hits over at 375. Thing is, he's not just getting contact at that 375. It's extra base contact, right? So that means you're getting at least 2 bases 4 times this season out there. 4 times against Sanchez. So when he makes contact, he finds the hole and everybody gets to advance. And that's why I went to Alonso, not Lindor or Soto. The other guy that almost made the cut there was Nemo. Why didn't I go to Nemo? Well, because ultimately it came down to the lefty-righty matchup. The righty bat that Pete Alonso swings is the softer spot for Sanchez at 261 versus the 247 as a lefty, which is Nemo. I think there's also a lot of things to like here. This guy, like I said, killer. He's hitting at 341, all hitting category, 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, and an OBP of .444 at plus 175, Sharpie. They're disrespecting Pete Alonso today.
Do you know where you're getting at? I'm not the guy who preaches value. I'll tell you that there's no value in a fucking losing or winning ticket. Or there's value, I guess, in a winning, but there's no value in losing tickets.
Nope.
But at the end of the day, if Tatis, for one, if they put Iglesias in the 1 hole where Arias was, that's when you need to look for it. Because that dude is a mini Luis Arias. And Sanchez, on the other hand, coming off a career strikeout type game. If you watch that game, poverty lineup number 1 for the Giants. They've run poverty lineups on moving day all year long this year. Number 2, shadows.
Yep.
He had the most swing and misses on his changeup in the history of baseball. You're not getting no value betting Sanchez right now. Everybody and their mom was talking Sanchez Cy Young coming into the year. Hence the reason with him dominating, you're going to get plus money. They look at him as an ace. And I'm not saying he's not. He is a stud, bro. This is a guy I was on before everyone else knew. But I was getting his outs at 15, 16, no higher than 17 at bettable juice last year. I ain't seen it less than minus 200. Like, you're not going to get value on that guy betting him. And it's hard for me to get strikeout props with him because he's a sinker baller. He's literally looking for contact. Like,
if he lets that contact up to Alonso, it's getting 2 bases and someone's getting across the finish line for us there. It was a weird, like I said, what was it, 5-4 yesterday or 4-3? I can't remember the final score.
It was weird how it ended, but I think it was 5-3, 5-4, like you said. It was close.
And it was Harper that kind of blew it there at the end and wasn't able to get him across, but we'll see what happens here. I mean, they got Griffin Gas Canning going on the other side of things here. So again, lefties, if you want to look at this should have a lot of runs. Lefties, Canning 272 against lefties. Stott, Harper, Schwarber, Kepler, all lefties in the lineup. All big bats, all big bombs out there. And Schwarber, however, one of the league team lowest 218s against Griffin Canning. So if you believe in the law of averages and this guy rolling it out there, you probably got to take a look at Schwarber finding. The problem I had with Schwarber is he's plus 135. So it's just wasn't. I just didn't see that's the low end. We certainly will go there, but we took the plus 140 earlier on that side of things. So we'll take ourselves Pete Alonso. We'll go number 3. We got the 4-pack. You know, it's the Tuesday 4-pack. Love a full card, man. I'm baseball's in swing. We got a full card.
Get into your next full card. Appreciate the 40 that are up in here. Smash that like if you haven't. Jump on over to either which stream right now. Hit their like button too. And if you ain't subscribed to either or of our channels, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I said that. What are you doing? You watch us but don't subscribe? Come on, man. Let's get to the next guy.
We are here to help you win money. That's what we want to do. Smack that thumbs up if you are making some money with us here. Not everybody has that belief. Not everybody has that philosophy, Sharpie. A lot of them think if they help you too much, you're not going to need them, and they just want to get you for every dollar you have in your pocket. So that's not what we're here to do. We're here to give you guys.
I literally tell them how I get to it, and that's like I've heard from so many people, thank you, you've made me better. Thank you, you've made me better. I get it, but there's also like, I'm not to be rude, I don't talk but to one person about K-props because I believe people poison your mind.
Sure.
So when people tell me I won't even open their messages. I'm not being rude. I am not poisoning my mind because if I see you on something I like, I'm not going to want to bet it.
I like to look at the card before I talk to anybody about the card because that's not capping to me isn't a group sport.
No,
you got to do it yourself, and then maybe you can have a conversation. But I found there's a lot of bitches out there, Sharpie. If you're on the other side of them, they don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about it. Well, listen, we can't have a debate. We can't have a conversation. At the end of the day, one of us is going to win. One of us is going to lose, but they get too sensitive. It's like, hey, it's my only play for the day. And if you don't like it, I don't want to hear it. And it's like, well, let me tell you why I'm on the other side. And I'll talk after all day long, but not before. Let me make my plays. Let me get to where I want to play. And then we can talk back and forth. Maybe you talk me off. But,
hey, a lot of people care about their wins.
Sure.
If you're in my chat, you haven't heard me gloat about my win streak. You heard me get angry at Job. They're like, hey bro, 3-1, fuck yeah. I'm like, no, fuck no. Fuck no, fuck Job. Like, all I care about is my losses. Like, I hate losing. I fucking hate it. Winning, I expect to win.
Best scene in a movie, right? I hate losing even more than I like winning. And there's a difference. Go shout out to Moneyball. That's one of my favorites in the baseball genre here. Let's take advantage of Patrick Corbin. We talked about him. We're going to play on him here. It's Tuesday. I was thinking about this today. I was like, man, I hope Patrick Corbin plays every Tuesday. And based on the rotation and what we're seeing out there, there's a good chance we're going to get a lot of looks at Patrick Corbin. This is a great opportunity. I think we're going to go on this Oakland side of things. First of all, I have Oakland graded pretty high to catch this W. And it's not just because of Corbin. There's a lot of other metrics. But what do we know about this Oakland ballpark now? Well, it's not in Oakland. They generate a lot of runs. It's banging balls out of the field. And what do we know about Miguel Andujar? He likes hitting against Corbin. He's got 9 at-bats. He's got 2 hits for a Ribeye. The rest of the squad, not a lot of success, not even a lot, not looks against Corbin whatsoever. So I feel like we got a team coming back home in a baseball park where we see runs, and you know these hitters are facing Corbin. They're looking at it going, we got Corbin Day. Let's go out there and fire it up. But the thing is, there's a couple of guys that I think are kind of lying in the weeds, and I think Andujar is one of them. This guy does hit a 310 at home. He's got 4 RBIs this year. Not the biggest fanfare, though. He's kind of sitting behind Rooker and Butler and another guy in Soderstrom. But the thing about Soderstrom, he is in front, and it does concern me just a little bit because we're sitting there going, well, if this guy's so consistent and he mops up out there, is there going to be anybody left for our guy, Miggy to go out there and bang him home? Reality is, Soderstrom's only hitting a 156 at home. So will those numbers change over the course of the season? Yeah, I believe so. I think we'll probably see him get a little bit better in that 4 hole.
He's a defensive catcher, bro. He is not a hitting catcher.
Yeah, so now we look at the lefty-righty matchups out there, and what's another big factor in why we're going to go with Andujar? Not Butler, not Soderstrom. We're going to Andujar because he's a 4'11", 4'11" when he faces a lefty. And where's Corbin's weakness? Where's his kryptonite? It's righties. 315 versus a 225. You don't think there's a big difference out there? I mean, that's a whole point. And then some when it comes down to finding success out there. So I'm going to go with Andujar. There's a lot of, look at Patrick Corbin, 0-11 spot when he's in a road dog position. You talked about him catching the win last week as the favorite. 0-11 when he's in the road dog position. So keep that one down. There's another little free sports bet pick for you guys here. But over the last 7 days, what we've seen with Andujar, 25 at-bats, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 jacks, 8 ribbies, consistency, and a plus 175 price tag out there. Dominates lefties, and I expect him to dominate today. Andujar, Miguel Andujar, plus 175.
I'm going to give you a San Diego boys thing because you're straight up New York fucking white when you're saying his name right now. It's Andujar.
All right.
Andujar.
I don't got to say it to play it, my man.
Hey, bro, I only know that guy's name because he is a very good contact hitter. And I bet strikeout props. And he is a son of a bitch to strike out. So, yeah, old Yankee Miguel Andujar. Let's get it, though.
Last guy on the board for us here, and 4-pack of ribbies to put the bow on this thing. We're going to go to Arizona. We're going to pick on Arizona, particularly because I expect this thing to have a high-scoring affair. I expect the ball to be flying. A couple of things going on here. One, Zach Lytle, the right-hander. Guy's hitting a 5.50 ERA or sporting a 5.50 ERA. It's terrible through 4 starts this season. And look, he's got a 20% whiff rate. That's 16th in Major League Baseball, 14.3% barrel. I mean, this guy's stats scream somebody smacked a fucking cover off the ball. And, when we look at this thing, we got a situation where how about this? In another 2 weeks, Tampa Bay will have played 48% of its home games for the entire season. They're going to be sitting there right at the halfway. They're not even close to the halfway point of baseball. This is only their second series on the road this season, and that is not where Lytle does it best out there. They're not winning with this guy either, probably predominantly because he's got that 5.5 ERA. 6 home runs he's given up in his last 3 games. And who's the guy that we're going to pick on here? We're going to go to Josh Naylor. We're going to take plus 170 on Josh Naylor for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is success rate out there. He's at 379 against righties. The second one, this guy's got the most extra bases across the lineup card today against this pitcher out there. And I like Josh Naylor. So give me 9 extra bases against these righties as well. 4 homers. Josh Naylor probably goes yardstick as well here, but I think I'll take him at plus 170 and feel pretty darn good about cashing that ribeye with this guy. Big scoring fest out there. Love the over in this game. I love Josh Naylor at plus 170.
Yeah, Josh Naylor, man, he's just a guy that fits the Diamondbacks mold. They're a good contact hitting team, and they stole him from the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, great contact team to great contact team, fits their mold, fits what they like to do. People get on base and just move the ball, bring them in. Don't fucking try to hit home runs. Go the other way. That's okay, and that's the way the D-backs play. They're content with going the other way and taking the run. So definitely like anything to do with Naylor. That dude's another one of those guys that I know because he don't strike out. Like, fuck.
He's playing well. I think he's going to enjoy being there. He's going to get away from the brotherly shadow and get out there to do some things on his own in a spot where there should be a lot of runs. And if you're a hitter, if you're a batter, why wouldn't you want to be in that position? He also being a first baseman, a little unique situation out there. But I think he's going to go out there and have a lot of success this year. And again, the price tag at plus 170 is good money for us to get paid.
Well, Mike brought you guys a 4-pack. I'm looking at 3 overs. I need the lineups. If I don't play Bybee, go back and listen to it. You'll understand why. I'm coming down to, I can't trust the guy to just go fastball cutter. He's going to go change up, sweeper. And can he get there? Yeah, but I'm not trying to get cans right now, guys. Cans don't pay the bills. And, like I said, I don't want to be screaming because I lost something that I'm telling myself it spins down. No, let it go. Sometimes learn a lesson, even if he cashes. If Bybee's back, then so be it. Bryce Miller, it doesn't look like I'm going to leave alone today. I'm going to be on Bryce Miller. If they give me this, there's really not too much they can do. So expect to hear on Twitter about that. And do I have the nuts to bet Shota when everything is telling me I need to go bet the over? Maybe you will, maybe I will. But if you want to know what I pulled the trigger on today, guys, make sure you follow me on freaking Twitter at Sharpies Bets. On show days, I post my action. My action is my action. I bet this shit, fellas. I will post my tickets every fucking time. Granted, I'm posting in the Discord before I post my tickets because I'm superstitious. It was bad to show the ticket first. Now I realize show the Discord first and then the ticket. So
There you go.
and I started wearing my lucky thong that I got from Jeter from back in the day.
Oh.
Mike,
Well,
let
there
them
you
know
go.
where they can find you, what you got going on as your show cracks off. And I think you got UFC going on soon.
Respect, man. Lots of fun. Love the joint streaming here on Tuesdays. You'll continue to see us doing this, Sharpie. Appreciate the opportunity. Tuesdays are big days in the sports money world, man. We got ourselves the VB MMA Ramon Scott. First look at the UFC card, UFC Kansas this weekend. We've got golf plays coming out here. My brother and I fired off some big bombs for this past weekend in the golfing stream. So you're going to see MMA Jeff and I doing golf out there today. But pregame at 6 p.m., we'll give you guys the last look at the card. Man, we were on fire yesterday. Looking to run it back. We've been having a great April, and I just want to stay hot, man. Good vibes, good people, and just trying to help everybody find that money, man. So appreciate you, Sharpie. Good luck with work, dude. Hopefully we get to stream more together.
Hey, we might be streaming daily, guys. We'll find out today. Yeah, life's a bitch and you marry one. I've married two, and this ain't nothing new. Until next